in a day and a half. And if we didn't have any issues with the property we were at, we would have had it done in one day. But where we ended up putting the fence and the raised bed area was 3/4 of a mile from, or maybe half a mile to 3/4 of a mile from the road. So we had to use all our heavy equipment to move all the mulch and all the soil to where we were working. That was not in the design plan, and nobody told me that this area was so far back from the road. So we had to clear out there was a road back to it, but it was overgrown with trees. So I had to take the Bobcat and basically make a new road. But it was raining for a few days before that, so you can imagine that road was kind of muddy. But we had to carry the whole deer fence, you know, piece by piece, as much as you could carry, all the way down, and then go back and get more. And it basically took us to move all the mulch, all the soil, and all the equipment to where we were working. It took us a few hours to get the equipment moved, or 2 hours to get all the equipment moved, and then it took most of the day running one bucket at a time with the Bobcat to where we were working and putting a pile right next to the deer fence we were building. So that slowed us down, obviously, or we would have had that fence done in one day. But so this one, once I get these corner posts set on this fence, the rest is pretty much gravy. You pound your sleeves in. You got 24-inch sleeves that you pound in to the ground, and then all you do is you slide your 8-foot pole in, and they're solid. And such an easy fence to put up. You know, a deer fence, you don't have to cement in all your posts. All you do is you cement in your corner posts, and the rest of the posts are going to go in those sleeves. And then you also have a tensioning cable that once the whole fence is put up, you run this cable along the top of all the posts, and then you tighten it up to make it tight and square, and you have a solid fence. And then, you know, like I said, it'll be 2 10-foot doorways or gateways and a 4-foot gate. And then we're going to build a pergola trellis in front of the 10-foot gate and plant some vining. I don't know what maybe some climbing roses and some goji berries. I don't know, we'll see. But you can make those pretty beautiful with the right, or clematis I think you can plant, and they will vine up a pergola trellis. And so yeah, a lot of fun stuff you can do. This is gonna be a beautiful property. But hey, you know, if you want, this is not your typical installation. This is a pretty large one. Normally, you know, I do your normal backyard, normal sized backyard in, you know, your regular suburban neighborhoods. So if you would like to transform your lawn into a regenerative food forest, edible landscape that is less maintenance than a regular lawn, and you will not be using poisons in your yard anymore, because we do everything using permaculture principles, and we plant everything in guilds. Okay, we companion plant, and then we plant for pest to, you know, basically deter pests from the foods that they like. You know, we take and we work with nature, not against it. And when you drive down the street or down the highway and you see the forests on the side of the road, the wooded areas, those grow all by themselves year after year after year. There's no maintenance. They maintain themselves. Okay, and that's from the ground all the way up to the top of the canopy. You have all your different levels. And you'll see you have 7 different layers. You know, a food forest has 7 different layers. But once we plant out your food forest and all the supporting plants around your trees and your berry bushes, you have a maintenance free after the first year. You know, you got to keep an eye on them, make sure they're watered. But once these roots take hold and once they start, you know, growing and maturing, and then you don't have to, kind of hands off. You can prune them every year to keep them, to shape them the way you want. But other than that, there's no maintenance. And when the leaves fall, leave them. Don't touch them. You don't rake them up and get rid of them, because they are natural mulch. It builds soil. That stuff breaks down and goes right back into the soil. And we also plant a lot of comfrey on the property, because comfrey is a biodynamic or dynamic accumulator, however I said that. But it has a deep taproot that goes deep down into the soil where the other plants and trees don't, and it gathers up the nutrients from deep down in the soil. And as it grows, all those nutrients are being stored in its stems and its trunk and its leaves and its flowers, its blooms. And that, when that gets nice and mature, like 2 or 3 times a year you can cut it, but you chop it down you basically chop it down and you let all the leaves go right back as a natural fertilizer in the ground. And that helps build soil and give nutrients to all the plants and trees that could not get their roots down to gather up those nutrients. So we take that into mind, and it helps build soil or break up soil. If you have clay soil, comfrey will break that up and make it so you can grow in that soil. So many different things. And instead of grass, you can plant clover as a ground cover. And you don't have to cut it. Only gets 3-4 inches high, and you can walk on it, and it's a no-mow lawn. And you don't have to put any pesticides or anything on it, and you just leave it. But anyway, I think I rattled on long enough. If you would like to find out more how we can transform your backyard, your lake home, any property you have, get in touch with me, 612-990-5345, or visit foodforestdesign.solutions. That's foodforestdesign.solutions. I know that sounds different, but that's the new website and the new name of the company. A lot of it had to do with better reach online, and some other things, and that's about it. But just remember, grow food, not lawns, and have an amazing day, my friends. See ya.